Sometimes you just need a fucking break, a break from yourself. We are so tightly cocooned within our own thoughts, our own paradigms, beliefs, attractions, and aversions that we don't actually see what is. This thought cocoon filters the 0.0035% of what our eyes can actually perceive of reality and sort of filters it and categorizes and labels and judges, and it all just automatically fucking happens, and our perception of reality and our life ends up just being a result of a conglomerated default of all the shit we've accrued in our neural pathway, an electric spiderweb within our wrinkly pink meat computer. Everybody needs a fucking break from themselves, because the self you think you are is just that, thoughts that think they're you. Thoughts that bind the actual you to themselves through identification, but you are not your fucking thoughts. So if you're not your thoughts, then what the fuck are you? Exactly the right question. One that doesn't have an answer that can be contained within words that are born of thought. Because what you actually are is independent of thought. It is the sense of I-ness that you've always had regardless of your ever-changing self-perception based on thoughts. Behind everything is nothing. Mostly what our entire universe is emptiness. And I mean a vast fucking emptiness in which all matter combined equals only like 5% of what exists. When we enter a room, we see the floor and walls, furniture and decor, but the predominant feature of a room is emptiness, and if it wasn't, it wouldn't be a room, it'd be a fucking uninhabitable cube, and what's the point? When we're driving down the road, we pay attention to the interior of our car, the road, other vehicles, the scenery, flora, fauna, roadkill, whatever the fuck. By all means, pay attention to the fucking road. But most of what we're surrounded by is an infinite sky that reaches all the way down to the fucking road and is even now not only enveloping you but allowing you to exist as matter, just like the water of the ocean allows fish. Our minds too are like that. We zero in on thoughts and identify with said thought and are deluded into thinking we are our fucking thoughts. It's just how we're built, but it's not what we are. Even matter itself is comprised of atoms, which is 99% empty space with a bunch of electric sperm whizzing around. So not only is our body 99% emptiness, but so too our minds. I know it feels like our minds are chock full of fucking thoughts and shit, but it's only because we don't pay attention to the emptiness. And when I say emptiness, it's because I'm attempting to describe something with no describable attributes. And so there are no English words that fit. But I can tell you this, the inherent all-pervasive emptiness is not exactly empty. It's somehow, in some way, wakeful. I know you need a fucking break. Maybe it feels like you need a fucking break from your life, and maybe you do. There are a shit ton of circumstances in which action should be taken to mitigate suffering, but more often than not, we just need a fucking break from the self-referential tangle of thoughts we think of as ourselves. But to do so, you have to get comfortable with emptiness. You have to face the void, and when you do, that fucking void absolutely will look back at you, because you are simply an aperture for the big wakeful empty to peer through so that it can know form. And when we peer into the void, we're just looking at ourselves in the form of a cosmic reference point, you, and a vast ineffable empty but somehow cognizant beingness, also you, a presence that becomes purposely tangled up in your thoughts and forgets everything other than what you pointed at through the vehicle of thought steered by attention. When you enter a room, try paying attention to the emptiness more than the objects. When you go outside, feel yourself moving through emptiness. Imagine the earth hurtling through infinite emptiness. Look up and contemplate the never-ending sky. Get comfortable with the void that we mostly are. So too with your mind. You either are your thoughts or you are observing them. Give yourself a fucking break from your thoughts. Your mind is an infinite sky. I'm telling you, your mind and the all-pervasive wakeful emptiness are the same fucking thing. Observe your thoughts. If it's hard for you, start with changing your self-talk. Instead of, oh, I feel like shit, try, I'm aware of shitty thoughts within my infinitely spacious fucking mind, thereby creating an observer, actual you, and that which is observed, thought. And no matter how compelling the thought is, no matter how much it wants you to think it, let it fucking go. Like a cloud that dissolves in the sky. It's doable, I promise. And by doing so, you weaken the identification between your awareness and thought forms, and thus your reference point shifts from being thought-centric to beingness, the original you. Thoughts are a tool to be used by you, but to a hammer, everything's a fucking nail, so don't be thoughts, use them, and try containing and directing them when it occurs to you to do so. Just that simple act will give you some separation from thought, and you can catch a fucking breaky poo now and then. This shit I'm talking about is a practice. You don't have to sit on a pillow or light incense or anything else to do it. You just have to remember to stop remembering shit. Every moment of your life is an opportunity to practice this, but it's effort, and the more you do it, the more spacious you'll realize your mind is, and shit will get wonderfully weird. Our lives are strange and miraculous things that we've reduced to have-tos and must-dos, and we're addicted to our memories and get depressed past, and from this perpetual moment, we cast our attention forward into the concept of a future that will never arrive, like a carrot on a stick, and get all anxious and fucked up. I'm not the fucking boss of you, so do what you want, but if you're after peace, then know this: you cannot attain peace in an ever-changing reality. You can only reveal it. The stillness behind motion, the silence that all sound moves through, the emptiness that gives way to matter, and the awareness without the of, the beingness behind belief. It's already fucking there, and so it's not a matter of learning, it's about unlearning. It's not about attaining, it's about surrender. It's not about hope, it's about gratitude. It's not about remembering, it's about being. It's about taking refuge in the eye of the storm of reality. Just breathe and exist. It's about taking a fucking break within you, boo. Toodaloo.